Hi, my name is Olga and today I'm going to talk about a little about the bioinformatics. Well, you may say, why informatics in the biological? Why? Well, the informatics in the biological study is too important to improve the medicine because this find this study and new alternatives to any disease and and therapies. This is a combination. The therapy, the informatics and the biological study for improved medicine. What is bioinformatics? Well, the bioinformatics is the application of the computer technology to the mining of biological information. The computer is used to gather genetic information, which can then be applied to genes-based drugs discovered and developed.
So the way that I explain bioinformatics to people is it's the collision of biology and computers.
I'm doing research in, it's a bioinformatics research, and it's on DNA damage repair. I'm studying the proteins that take part in that process. Whether it be they're putting them together or doing some other things, I'm looking for something common in all the proteins that could help me to find all of them.
So I put people in a situation where I ask them, what are you interested in biology? And then I take them and I say, take these math skills and take these computer science skills and create with it. It's a great example.
I'm a PhD student now at Biomedical Sciences, and I'm working in a lab that is focused on the statistical analysis of genomics. I'm working on two projects. One is a breast cancer project, and one is a platelet project. In both of these projects, we are using very strong computers.
Also, fluid state protein structure determination, and that's things like, at this point, bioinformatics is steadily taking over everything that we do. So I imagine in probably 20, 30 years, we'll be in a situation where there will be no research lab that won't have a dedicated computer scientist that needs to be able to understand biology. With bioinformatics, you get your math, you get your computer science, and you're on your way to doing really fun stuff as it is.
I want to go to medical school. And then I think that every doctor in the future will have to have some computer knowledge because we're using so many tools, computer software, everything, everywhere.
The project that I'm working on, they involve a lot of computation, and we're trying to find out certain genes, specific genes, that can be used for therapy in the future to help patients.
This is where I found my real interest. It's not only that, oh yeah, you go to medical school and you become a doctor, but it's also, you can also do this and still be a doctor.
So jobs are basically looking for you as opposed to you going out looking for jobs. If you love computers, mathematics, and biology, this is the major for you.
Okay, like we can see in this video, the bioinformatics is not only the part of the medicine. This is a new way to the medicine advance to find new therapies and new analysis. The need for bioinformatics capabilities has been precipitated by the explosion of public available genomic information resulting from the Human Genome Project. The science of bioinformatics, which is the melding of molecular biology with computer science, is essential to the use of the genomic information in understanding human disease and in the identification of molecular targets for drugs discovery. Well, now I'm going to talk about a little of the history of bioinformatics, how the bioinformatics appeared, and how this was an evolution from there to now. In the first bioinformatics biological database were constructed a few years after the first protein sequence began to become available. The first protein sequence reported was that of bovine insulin in 1956, consisting of 51 residues. Nearly a decade later, the first nucleotide sequence was reported, that of yours aligned tRNA with 77 base. Just a year later, they have gathered all the available sequence data of create the first bioinformatics database.
At the School of Medicine, and as most people are aware, there's a lot of new generation sequencing technologies that are out there. What people may not be aware of is the amount of computational and bioinformatics support that's required to make use of that data. With volumes of data that are coming off the sequencers now, it's really not possible to make any type of analysis without structuring that data into databases and developing data management practices that allow the biologist to make sense of that information. This is a really exciting time because there's a lot of new developments in the areas of high performance computing, new algorithm development, large scale data storage and data management processes that are going on, and it's a very exciting era for anybody who's entering into this field. Bioinformatics is a section of a larger field called informatics, which is essentially any type of computer processing of data sets that are being generated in large volume. And it includes everything involving computational algorithm development, statistical techniques, just general processing and new techniques for finding information in sequence of that kind, and also visualization. There's really been a very exciting explosion recently of all the data that's coming off the next generation sequencing devices, and the only way that we can really make use of that data is unless we apply new bioinformatics approaches to analyze that data, to view that data, and to store and manage that information in a comprehensive way. And what this means is that there's an even higher demand of people who are trained in this area to be able to analyze and make use of that information. And I think that there's a lot of very exciting opportunities about being here. We are engaged in cutting-edge development of new algorithms, new data management and data storage procedures of all the DNA sequence information that's being generated here and elsewhere. It's a very exciting time in the field in general because there's a large shift away from sequencing individual organisms and looking at organisms that are present in different environments, as well as organisms that live in association with human. And all this is going to yield really new and exciting insights into biology.
Okay, the bioinformatics in China, because my article was about the bioinformatics in China. Well, the field of bioinformatics in China has grown significantly in the past decade, despite a delayed packaging start at the end of the 1980s by a few scientists from other disciplines Most nowadays are physics and mathematics, whereas China's traditional strength has been.
The role that HPC has played in bioinformatics has been absolutely transformational. So certainly, as much as anything else, we've been able to change our ambitions about what we do. When I did my PhD, most people were looking at one gene or one protein, and that was their PhD. Now we have people inside my group who are looking at entire genomes or entire proteomes and trying to understand how, whether it's 6,000 or 20,000 genes, are operating in the context of a cell or an organism. Now one's ambitions can be remarkable in that if you do want to go and sequence a koala genome, if I want to go and sequence my genome, I can do that very easily, and the analysis is then something which is routine. Within a few years, we'll be able to move from just looking at single individuals or individual species to looking at entire populations. So we'll have the genomic data for every single human, at least every single volunteering human on the planet, and we'll be able to analyse that and understand what it truly means to be a human species. We need to use high-performance computers for speed. There's many tasks that we do, for example in genome assembly and annotation, which require us to use some of the largest high-performance computers in the country. Some of the tasks we do on those computers are 120 hours in length, but we then need to optimise that task and do it 100 times. We can't wait to do this on someone's desktop or a small cluster because it would take us 5 years. We can't wait that long because we need to get the data, analyse the data, and publish it as soon as possible. It's immensely helpful to work with Intersect as a provider of high-performance computing. When we go to use the computers, we don't need to worry about systems administration issues, we don't need to worry about network administration issues, we don't need to worry about user administration issues, we don't need to worry about how information is going to be backed up and stored from those computers. That's all taken care in the package of support that Intersect provides. So essentially it means that my researchers who are doing this type of work can concentrate on doing their research.
In the reckoning of this, many universities, government institutes, and pharmaceutical firms have formed bioinformatics groups consisting of computational biologists, computational biologists, of informatics, computer science.
I'm in a research field called Bioinformatics, which is an exciting new field which tries to answer research questions using computers. It's come about in the last 20 or so years as a result of our amazing advances in computer technology and biotechnologies, and we're really at the point now where it's a little bit too much for one single person or one lab group to be able to take in all of the data that's available to them to help them answer a particular question. So we need computers to do that, to help us do that, and so I'm one of the people that helps steer the computer in the right direction to help us answer our research questions.
Hi, I'm Richard Francis. I work in the field of bioinformatics, which is essentially the application of computer science to answer biological questions. Science has changed quite considerably over the last 20 years. Major influences have been the advances in technology and their application to science. When I was at school, I used to go in and do one experiment and get one result. Whereas these days, scientists are doing one experiment and generating millions and millions of results. And this is where bioinformatics comes in. As the name would suggest, it's the application of computer science to biology. We write software and use other people's software and work really closely with the Institute's biostatistics teams to take those millions and millions of data points and narrow them down to a handful of interesting data points that the researchers can then use to decide their next course of action. Really, with modern day science, the overwhelming volumes of data that scientists have to generate to stay at the cutting edge